On this whole Nnamdi Kanu versus Tinubu and the APC that you can call the federal government, this issue has become so polarizing that it has polarized Nigeria into two different camps. Those in support of APC and those in support of Nnamdi Kanu. But here's the thing. The polarization is dangerous for Nigeria because two things are involved. It is either we choose the path to rule of law or rule of friend. If we must learn from this conviction of Nnamdi Kanu and pick the right lessons for Nigeria to move forward, then we must tell ourselves the bitter truth, starting with two things can be correct at the same time. Two things can be true at the same time. What are these two things? In 2015, Nnamdi Kanu was arrested by then Buhari. In 2017, they released him after keeping him for almost 2 years. Treasonable felony charges and all that were brought against him. But in 2017, Nnamdi Kanu was released on bail. And in that same 2017, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, was declared a terrorist organization. It was prescribed by the court lawfully. Like it or hate it, the courts have the power to do it, and the courts did it. And then IPOB lawyers went to court, appealed it in that 2017-2018. And the Court of Appeal affirmed the decision of the Federal High Court prescribing IPOB. So as at 2017, IPOB was prescribed. From the Court of Appeal, IPOB did not present any appeal to the Supreme Court until February of 2025. So the status quo is that IPOB is prescribed until that decision is overturned. In 2021, or is it 2021, Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya into Nigeria. Is it from Kenya? From the UK. Through Kenya. And he has been held since that time till date. The courts in Nigeria have ruled that the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu is unlawful. And then an award of 50 billion naira damages has been awarded to Nnamdi Kanu in this country. But contrary to the prescription of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu continued while he was on exile, if I can use that word, to broadcast under the name of IPOB. Now you can see here, two things are true at the same time. If we must move forward as a country, we must tell the truth. It's either we choose the rule of law or we choose the rule of friend. We can't have both. For those who are in support of the APC of Tinubu or the federal government, they don't see any wrong in the actions of the federal government. Is this true? For those who are in support of Nnamdi Kanu, they don't see any wrong in the actions of Nnamdi Kanu. Is it true? If we are to move forward, we must speak the bitter truth. Two things can be right at the same time. Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government are both wrong and they are both right at the same time. That is the truth. Let us choose the path of rule of law. I have seen many people, including people I respect, come out to pick a side. And the most annoying one is the position taken by Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, Maxwell Okpara and the other one, to say, oh, it's a thing against the Igbos. Come on. Maybe it is, maybe it is not. But we must speak truth. What is it that the federal government did that was wrong? Extraordinarily renditioning Nnamdi Kanu back to Nigeria is wrong. That must be said. Deliberately refusing to pay the 50 billion damages to Nnamdi Kanu is wrong. That must be said. But then again, it cannot be said that Nnamdi Kanu is 100% right. And this is where many of you are missing it. You cannot, because you want to gain sentiment or whip up sentiment or gain the support of a certain group, now begin to push narratives that are half truth. Nnamdi Kanu is not 100% right. 2017, IPOB was proscribed. By 2020, 2021, Nnamdi Kanu was still carrying himself as the leader of IPOB. We have a law in this country. The courts have declared IPOB a terrorist organization and proscribed it. 2013 Terrorism Prohibition Act or Prevention Act is there. Is a law. You may like it, you may not like it. The truth is, it is a law. And by carrying out the activities of that Nnamdi Kanu carried out, he breached that law. That truth must be told. Two things can be true at the same time. So for me, if Nigeria is going to move forward, we have to speak the truth as it is. The conviction of Nnamdi Kanu based on the 2013 law, whether it has been, that has now been repealed, and the arguments made by Justice Omotosho, to me, they are credible. If you don't like it, there is a legal process to seek redress. Yes, follow that route. But to come out and begin to polarize Nigeria and make statements that make it look like Nnamdi Kanu is 100% right, no. Nnamdi Kanu has a right to agitate for self-determination. Yes, he does. On that, he is right. Nnamdi Kanu does not have the right to take the lives of his people. Yes, he did. How did he do it? The broadcasts are there. When people are calling him in to tell him, oh yes, we have done this here, he say, yeah, good. And then somebody will come out and say, oh, how can you convict Nnamdi Kanu based on what he said? Based on what he said, not that he carried gun. Excuse me, do you know that we have a Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, TTPA 2022, that replaced the 2013 law? In the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act, are you required to carry a gun first before you are called a terrorist? And you call yourselves lawyers. We should be careful defending blindly wrong positions. The truth must be told. Both of them are right, half right. Both of them are half wrong. We must choose the path of rule of law. It's when we do this that we can have peace. Many of you now come out and argue and say, oh, there is a set of law for the Igbos and a set of law for the rest of Nigeria. If Nnamdi Kanu were to be Sunday Igboho, they would have let him go. If he were to be a Showore, they would have let him go. If he were to be a Northerner, they would have let him go. And then you fail to realize something. And what is that thing? If Nnamdi Kanu were to be a Northerner, there would have been Northern leaders. There would have been a Shegumi. There would have been Northern politicians, Northern traditional rulers, the like of the Sultan of Sokoto, would have spoken for him. And not only speaking for him, would have spoken to those people. It should have been balanced. Yeah? Did we have that for Nnamdi Kanu? No. Who can talk to Nnamdi Kanu? Nobody. If Nnamdi Kanu were to be a Sunday Igboho, the Yoruba elders, the Yoruba traditional rulers, the Yoruba politicians, they would have risen up like they did to appeal to both sides. Not only to say release Sunday Igboho, they will also speak to Sunday Igboho and say, Sunday Igboho, stop the hostilities. This is what happened. Did we have it in the case of Nnamdi Kanu? The answer is no. Nnamdi Kanu, nobody can talk to him. If Nnamdi Kanu were to be a Yoruba person, the Yoruba leaders or the Northern leaders would have said, Nnamdi Kanu, stop the sit at home. Stop the killing of innocent Southeasterners. Stop disrupting the businesses or the economy of the Southeasterners. They would have spoken to him and told him that truth. At the same time, they would have appealed to the federal government to release him. Did we see that for Nnamdi Kanu from the Southeasterners? Which of the Southeasterners did you see that condemned the action of the sit at home and the deliberately destruction of lives and property in the Southeast? How many of them spoke against it? They were too afraid or too polarized to speak. If you feel that there are two sets of laws in Nigeria, one for the Igbos, think again. The sincere ones are saying the truth. The problem of Nnamdi Kanu is not the rest of Nigeria. The problem of Nnamdi Kanu are his Igbo brothers and sisters. If they rose up in support of him, would have had a solution now. And if they were in a position to speak to him and he listens to them, and they tell him, okay, enough of this, your sit at home, you don't too long, he would have listened. But nobody can talk to him. And it's because of this mistake that you all are making. Oh, the heroes can do no wrong. Hello, heroes are human beings. You are making this mistake with Nnamdi Kanu. You have made it with Very Dark Man. You have made it with Ordinary Ahmed Issa. You have made it with your musicians and your celebrities. They can do no wrong. That is a wrong way to go. It is not rule of friends. It should be rule of law. So when your friend does something that is wrong, you should be able to tell him, no, this thing that you did is wrong. If you listen to the broadcast of Nnamdi Kanu, not even before 2020, from 2020 to 2021 before he was rearrested, you cannot tell me that those broadcasts do not break any laws in Nigeria. They do. And you cannot objectively tell me that those laws did not take any lives in Nigeria. They did. Does that make Tinubu or the APC or the government 100% right? No. Both sides have wrongs and both sides have rights. So going forward, what do we need to do? All of these ones now, look, some people are using it for political strategy. But going forward, what do we need to do? The Southeasterners need to speak up. Instead of just coming to castigate the federal government alone, they should tell Nnamdi Kanu his own side of the wrong. Both, it takes two to tango. Both are wrong when they are wrong. Both are right when they are right. Elders of the Southeast, tell Nnamdi Kanu the truth. Tell him to stop the sit at home. He can stop it. He can make that proclamation from wherever he's being held. He can. He can. And then you cannot tell federal government, look, oh, he has stopped the sit at home, federal government releasing. And then all of us, see, I am for the fundamental rights of every Nigerian, whether it is Nnamdi Kanu or not. I don't agree. He has a right to self-determination, to agitate for self-determination. But he doesn't have the right to engage such violence that puts the lives of other Nigerians at risk. And you cannot tell me that he did not do that just because you want to appear to be in support of him. I support a political solution, and I also will insist that Nnamdi Kanu must desist from the violent approach to his agitation for self-determination. He must. You cannot be killing the same people you say you are agitating for. You are asking for rule of law, but you yourself, you are breaking the law. That cannot happen now. Let's tell ourselves the truth. And the federal government must do its part. For me, going forward, the 50 billion that was awarded to Nnamdi Kanu should be paid to him. Now that he's been convicted, rightly, in my opinion, rightly, on Terrorism Prevention Act, a political solution can now be reached. It should be spoken to stop his violent agitation, continue in a peaceful way, right? It should be spoken to, and then the federal government too must also take their part of the blame so that we can move forward. But if we continue to dig into our different positions, in the attempt to get sentiment and support from a particular base, we'll continue to destroy the chances of this political solution. In any case, for me, all this conviction is a strategy for Tinubu and this. At the end of the day, it will clear for all of us. But for me, rule of law over rule of friends. Both of them are right, both of them are wrong. Deal with it.